Chapter 3 Living a Lie. The first few weeks of marriage were surreal. To the outside world, family, friends, business partners, the media, Nina was Lina. She had to dress like her, act like her, attend events she would normally avoid, and answer to a name that wasn't hers. It was exhausting. Every moment felt like walking on a tightrope. But behind closed doors, in the privacy of Ethan's home, she was Nina. Completely and fully. Ethan never called her Lina. He never treated her like she was her sister. He gave her the library, a massive, beautiful room with walls of books, comfortable chairs, and sunlight streaming in, telling her it was hers to use whenever she wanted. He bought her tea exactly how she liked it. He asked her opinions on books, on art, on life. He listened. Truly listened. Nina couldn't understand how this was happening. The man everyone feared, cold, ruthless, unfeeling Ethan Sterling, was gentle, attentive, and kind with her. But fear still lived in her heart. She still didn't know how much he knew. He knew she was the twin. He knew she liked books. But did he know about the diary? Pages of silence was still active. She still wrote almost every night, pouring out her feelings, her confusion, her growing attraction to the man she was married to under false pretenses. One evening, they were sitting together in the library. Nina was reading. Ethan was working on documents nearby. "Why did you agree to this?" Nina asked suddenly, breaking the silence. "Even if you didn't want Lina, marrying a stranger, lying to everyone, it's risky. It could ruin your reputation if anyone finds out." Ethan put down his pen and looked at her. "I told you. I wasn't marrying a stranger. I was marrying the only woman who has ever made me feel something real." He stood up and walked over to her chair, leaning against the bookshelf. "You write about silence as if it is a language, Nina. You write about loneliness as if it is an old friend. You write about hope as if it is something fragile you carry carefully. For years, those words were the only thing that made me feel less alone in this big, empty house." Nina's breath caught. He was talking about the diary. He was talking about her writing. She panicked, covering it quickly. I read a lot. I pick up things from books." Ethan smiled softly, but didn't push. "Not yet. Of course. You have a beautiful way with words. I always thought so." He reached out and brushed a strand of hair from her face, a touch so gentle it made her heart race. "Don't be afraid, Nina. I will protect this secret. I will protect you. No one will ever know you aren't Lina. Not until you are ready to tell them the truth, or until you decide who you really want to be." Nina looked down at her book, her mind spinning. He knew everything, but he was letting her keep her secret anyway. He loved the girl behind the words so much, he was willing to live in a lie just to be near her. And worse, she was falling in love with him too. Not the powerful CEO. Not the husband she was forced to marry. But the man who read her soul. Chapter 4 Words Unspoken. As the weeks turned into months, their relationship deepened into something beautiful, strange, and complicated. During the day, at galas or meetings, Nina played the role of the glamorous, socialite wife. She wore high heels and expensive gowns, smiled brightly, and said very little, finding it easier to stay quiet than to risk sounding too intelligent or too quiet like herself. Ethan was always by her side, guiding her, protecting her, giving her subtle cues. He was the perfect husband in public, charming, proud, affectionate. But at night, when the doors were locked and the world was shut out, they were just Nina and Ethan. They spent hours in the library. They discussed classic literature, poetry, philosophy, things no one else in Ethan's life ever cared about. Nina discovered that Ethan wasn't cold by nature, he had learned to be cold because the world had taught him that feelings were weakness. But with her, his walls crumbled. "You know," Ethan said one night, sitting on the floor beside her armchair while she read aloud from an old novel, "you sound exactly like I imagined her to sound." "Who?" Nina asked, looking down at him. "The writer," Ethan replied simply. "The one from Pages of Silence. I always pictured her voice soft, thoughtful, warm. Exactly like yours." Nina froze mid-sentence. Her heart hammered painfully against her ribs. He knew. He knew it was her. He was telling her he knew. She closed the book slowly. "Ethan, why don't you just ask me?" Ethan looked up, his dark eyes searching hers. "Ask you what?" "If I am her," Nina whispered. "If I am the one writing those words you love so much." Ethan smiled sadly. He reached up and touched her cheek. "Because it's not about the secret, Nina. It's about the soul. Whether you admit it or not, I know. I have known for a long time. The way you think, the way you see the world, the things that make you sad or happy, they are exactly the things you write about." He stood up and sat on the edge of her chair, close enough that she could feel his warmth. "I don't need you to say it. I don't need proof. I fell in love with you through your words, and then I fell in love with you as a person. Either way, it's still you. It's always been you." He took her hand and placed it over his heart. "Every time you write something new, I read it. Every time you express a thought to me, I treasure it. Whether it's published online or spoken quietly here, your words are my favorite thing in the world." Tears filled Nina's eyes. She realized then that she wasn't the only one hiding. He had been hiding his love just as long. He had been waiting, hoping, protecting her, while she was too scared to see what was right in front of her. "I'm so confused," she admitted softly. "We are married under a lie. I'm pretending to be my sister. You love me for a secret I haven't even told you. Nothing about this is normal." Ethan laughed gently. "Normal is boring. And normal never felt like home to either of us, did it?" He leaned closer, his forehead resting against hers. "We started with a substitution, Nina. But we found something real. And I am willing to wait as long as it takes for you to trust me enough to bring everything into the light."